How is it going, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Garage Built Baits. I'm your host, Wyatt, Buyer Lure Co., all that jazz. You can find all that jazz down below in the links, the social medias, the Buy Me a Coffee. All of that is down there in the descriptions of wherever you're getting your podcast if you're watching the video, or if you're listening to it on Spotify. Another thing that you could do, you should follow all those social medias, and you should follow the podcast wherever you get your podcast: Apple, Spotify, this, that, or the other, YouTube. Subscribe to get them videos. But anyway, I guess that's enough plugging for my stuff. Feel like I gotta do it. Gotta do it every time. Anyway, we are joined for this episode with Zena she is the Little River Lure Lady. And what a great guest to have back for after my little hiatus there. This was the first guest that I had back. We were going to have an episode before I took my hiatus, and it didn't work out, and then took a break. Now we're back, and I'm really happy with how it went. She was nervous. I was nervous, but it went great, I feel like. So I hope you guys enjoy this episode. Without further ado, it's Zena, the Little River Lure Lady. Just introduce yourself and let the people know what you do.
My name is Zena, and I am the Little River Lure Lady here on Lake Murray. And I paint lures and I tie some jigs. And I have been doing this for about 2 years now.
Mm-hmm. And I would say in these last 2 years, you've become pretty popular in this like swim bait scene. How did that start for you? Like kind of coming in and painting swim baits, because it probably didn't start that way for you.
Thank you. Yes, no, it didn't start that way at all. I actually just started painting a couple crankbaits for fun. My grandfather used to make fishing lures, so that's where I got the idea and how I got started. And the name of his company was Little River Lures. So I decided to name myself Little River Lure Lady to honor him and carry on his legacy. So that's how I started painting lures. But I really had no expectations. I wanted it to be fun and continue to be fun. But I have grown a lot and I'm happy about that. And I'm really excited the direction it's going in now. So yeah, it's definitely taken a turn. My whole business has changed.
Mm-hmm. Um, with your grandfather, what did he like carve lures, or was he making like spinner baits?
Yeah, so he mainly made crappy jigs
Mm-hmm.
and
Okay.
soft plastics.
Oh, I got you. So was he like in there like tying feathers to jig heads, stuff like that?
So he wasn't really like a tire, he just poured a lot of lead. And he had his own
Oh,
little style of crappy jig that a lot of people around here liked a lot. He always put a little split ring on them. He said it gave him more action. So a lot of people really started to like his little jigs.
well, there you go. That's no, that's really cool. Like how that's all like tied together for you. So with getting into swim baits, were you like throwing swim baits before you were painting them, or how did that look?
No, not at all. Swim baits are not popular here on Lake Murray yet. I think they will be eventually, but in fact, a lot of people around here don't even know what they are. My dad saw one and he's like, "What are you going to catch with that?" And I said, "I know, but people are using them, especially out in like Texas and Florida and up north, New York." So they're just not very popular here yet. Some people are using them on Lake Murray, but they're kind of quiet about it. It's just not really caught on here yet. But I hope it does eventually.
Mm-hmm. No, for sure. And what was like some of the first like swim bait blanks that you've painted? Were they just ones that you got like online, or did painters send you some blanks to try out?
So the first swim bait I ever got was from a guy. He sent me a York casting glide to paint for him. And he sent me a picture of a baby bass. And it is actually one of my most popular patterns now, still. and it's the first swim bait I ever painted. And that was a while ago, but it's still one of my most popular patterns.
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, because it looks like you. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks like you do like customs for people, and then are I feel like some, and I've talked to other bait makers, and I feel like they've sent you blanks to paint for them as well.
Yeah, so I've started painting for a lot of different companies, which I really like. Right now, I'm painting for Max. I've got these little Rexes over here, and Sack Pig. I've got some of his rats I'm finishing up, and I've painted a lot for York Casting,
Mm-hmm.
Gift Glides, probably a few others that I'm forgetting, but everybody has been so awesome to work with. It's really an awesome little community, and
Mm-hmm.
I've enjoyed getting to know everybody. It's really fun.
No, I agree. It's been like this community can like be very tight knit. You know, maybe there's like some little, you know, hiccups here and there with some bait makers. You know, like people are very much like, I want my bait right now. Like I experienced that today with, like, I sold a bait the other day, and I work a lot, so it's like I told the guy, I was like, well, I can't ship till Thursday morning. And Thursday
Mhm.
morning rolled around, and he was like right in my DMs again, like, did you get it shipped? And I was like, holy. And he was kind of bothering me like throughout the week about it, and I told him, like, Thursday, that's when I can do it. Like, it's like I work a lot, and I don't do well. He made this suggestion that I like print out a shipping label online, and it's like, well, that's all good and dandy. I don't have a printer. Like,
Yeah,
it's like I
yeah.
can't
People
really.
don't understand like how time consuming it actually is.
For sure. Well, especially I paint a little bit, not nearly as good or as much as you, but it's like there's like this whole process to it. And I've had like some people like ask me if it's like, hey, would you paint me this? And it's like, dude, I don't want to even get into that. It's like, cuz I'm terrible. Oh my gosh, just with even us scheduling this podcast, it's like I'm terrible with time and scheduling and all of that. It's like you would not have a painted bait for a long time, and it'd just be sitting on my desk and
Yeah,
collecting
yeah.
dust.
I I work another full time job too. I have a hair salon, so whenever I get off there, I come straight home and I try to paint for 2 hours and then cut it off because I could sit out here all night. But
Mm-hmm.
just sometimes the prepping of the bait before you even get started painting it takes a while. So, and you make lures, right?
I
You-
dabble. Yeah, I dabble a little bit. But that's another thing that's taken a back seat due to work, which is like, in my opinion, is super terrible because it's like, well, I want to do all my hobbies and all the stuff that interests me. I don't want work to be like the super main focus in my life because I'm not in love with what I do. But um, it's like if I could put more time and effort into making lures, I totally would. I don't know if I would. Like, I have like this banana lure that's been in the process for like almost 3 years. And it's like, I don't know if that thing will ever come out. It's so terrible. But it's so easy to paint a banana too. So it's like,
Yeah,
I could
look,
crank these out.
hang on, look.
Oh, there you go. Do you do those?
My nails,
Yeah.
actually, I have two fishermen, two of my customers, their daughter, she paints some of them, and then I have another fisherman and his girlfriend paint some of them for me, and they're just press on nails
Oh, there
because
you
my
go.
hands always look bad from painting. So I have like I'm telling my secret, but I have like a jar of press on nails on my countertop. So in the morning when I take pictures of my lures, I just press one on whatever looks good with my lure and I take the picture.
Aesthetic. I love
Because
that.
as an artist, your hands always look bad, especially doing hair. My hands are always full of hair color. But yeah, I have bananas on right now. So
There you go. That's epic. No, because I noticed that. I was gonna actually make a comment because I was like, God, your Instagram's like your pictures are so good, and I was like, and then it's fun with the paint job. Plus, you got your nails in there, and your nails are always cute. So I'm like, I was gonna make a comment about it later, but yeah, there you go. That's awesome.
I think some people have recognized my work now by my fingernails, so it's like part of my branding. So
Oh,
I have to keep it up now.
there you go. That's hilarious. No, yeah, you got now you got to keep it up. Um, cause this last picture that I seen from you, I think you painted some North Shore swim baits in a gobi color or
Yeah,
a shower. Sorry, yeah, those are sweet. Those are
thank you.
I. The worst part about this is I talk to all these painters or builders, and then I'm like, it's like I just want all this stuff, and I just recently downsized a lot of my swim baits because it's like I can't give all of these the love and attention they deserve. So downsized a lot, and I'm like, it's like even though I want this, better not, better focus on some other priorities. You know, can make some of my own lures that I want to. I have some great ideas. It's like, let me do that before I start just buying hundreds of dollars of swim baits again.
Hey, I get that. Mine's more shoes though.
Oh, you know what? There you go. Um, since coming into and painting swim baits, I guess like talking with Colorado Custom Lures and her painting. She's like, well, I don't actually like fish a ton, like what her husband does. So like, do you do y'all fish a lot, or how does that look for you? How did that get started?
Yes. First of all, I want to say Krista is amazing. And when I first started painting lures, I reached out to her and I didn't know that it was another lady I was talking to. So that was really cool. And she was really helpful. So thank you, Colorado Custom Lures. But yes, I do fish a lot. I'm actually going fishing next weekend out of Florida with my dad. We're going out of Marathon, Florida. I don't know what we're going to fish for, whatever. It doesn't matter. But we do a lot of ocean fishing. That's what I really love. But yes, I do fish on Lake Murray when somebody will take me. My dad lives by the coast now, so he's not around here anymore. But I have a couple friends that I fish with around here, and I also bank fish a lot. So I fish off the dock for brim and just whatever bites. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I love to fish.
Yeah. So swim baits haven't like quite made their way into your lineup yet. Maybe.
Not yet, but I am going to start throwing some this summer, especially some of the smaller ones.
Mm-hmm.
Lake Murray is a big blueback herring lake, so I think some of the smaller glide baits would do pretty well here. So, yeah, I definitely want to fish with them because I want to learn more about them. And I was trying to make my own glide bait, and that is really difficult. And I'm still working on it. So, but through that process, it has helped me learn a lot about their functionality and how they put together, which has helped me paint them too. So now I know some of them have these little rings on the bottom that spin,
Mm-hmm.
and so those need to be clear of any clear coat or paint so they can turn, but I didn't know that before. So making my own, I've learned a lot about that kind of stuff, which has helped me as a painter.
Oh, for sure. And like you said, it's this whole process. Like if you're just like, especially like painting can be very disheartening to like begin with because you got like, oh, depending on your paint, it's like, well, I gotta thin this out or else it's not gonna lay down very good. And then I think a lot of people don't realize like, because I've talked to like quite a few people that have like asked me questions about painting, and it's like, they're like, oh, my paint's not sticking. It's like, would you wash that bait? It's like,
Yeah,
it's like with,
yeah, exactly.
yeah, like,
Because if you made one, you don't know that you spray like a coating on that mold before you pour it so it can pop out and it's oily. So
Mhm.
that residue gets on the bait and then you have to wash it, scrub it, and spray it with alcohol to get it off before you paint it. So yeah.
Mhm. No, and I'm like one of the biggest if people want to start painting, one of the biggest things I say is like, well, one you could it's like you can watch like Jen Kravasi, you can watch her paint bull shads, and it's like if you just watch her, you can pick up on a lot of stuff if you're paying attention. And plus, she has like super informative videos. And I was like, go watch her. And I was like, if like bait painters have like reels or they're showing themselves painting, it's like you pick up on stuff. It's like for a bluegill pattern, those like wavy brushes or those like wavy combs. It's like
Mhm.
you can slap that over bait, and bam, there's your bluegill striping.
Yeah. I just seen somebody do that the other day, actually. I didn't even think about that. I'm surprised as a hairstylist, I didn't think about that. But yeah, that's a great way to get a little bluegill stripe.
Uh huh. Or watching like Krista with Colorado Customs, I seen she had like one of those embroidery like looms, and then she
Mhm.
stretched like her mesh for scales over that, and she just laid it on top of a bait. I'm like, genius. I was like, I've never thought of that, and that was the like smartest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's one of the things she taught me.
Uh huh.
Genius, and it's perfect.
Oh no, it is perfect because like before, I'm like fiddling around with clips and trying to get everything perfect, and then it's not, and then my scales like smudge when I'm taking it off, and then there's like swear words, and I'm just like, yeah, and then I'm like, well, this paint's this paint
Yeah.
job's not where
Start
I want
over.
it to be. Yeah, it's like got to start like strip it
Even
down and
just the
start over.
tiniest little movement in that mesh is ruined.
I know. So it's like some of those stuff. If it's like if you watch and you pay attention or you talk with people, um, you'll figure out a lot of stuff. Because I think I've seen throwback, like when they were doing like bluegill striping, and then like I got a throwback like Metro Glide. I was like, oh yeah, that's a comb brush, like the wavy one. I was like, I have now the same one like in my like little painting area. So I was, and they're like a couple bucks at Walmart. You know, you don't have to get super crazy with stuff. Um,
Yeah, now I'm looking at different fabrics like of clothing in my closet, like different lace and stuff. I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna wear this shirt again. I'm gonna cut it up. I'm gonna use it. I use a lot of lace and different types of ribbon and stuff. Like I have some right here. This makes a really nice texture and
mm-hmm.
paint. I don't even know what it is, but can you even see it? Where am I at here?
I saw it initially.
There
There
it
you
is.
go.
Yeah, so like just little stuff like that you can use. You can use like the bag from oranges. You know, it comes in that little mesh bag. I've used that before. So
Mm-hmm.
just
Yeah.
definitely start looking at like objects differently when you're painting and trying to look for texture.
Oh, for sure you do. And I think one of the biggest things that I've been using right now for just scales, patterns is, well, one, I'm using that embroidery loom or whatever, and but I just like bought a cheap loofah at Walmart,
Mhm.
and dude, I didn't know how like loofahs were made. So like when I like they're like, oh yeah, you get into the center and you trim the string, and then it just like all unravels, and I'm like, holy, there's so much like of that netting in a loofah, and
Yeah, it'll last you a lifetime.
oh for sure, like and you know you get like some really nice. You can kind of like orient it to how big or small you want it, but like yeah, you get like a pretty good scale pattern out of that.
Oh yeah, that's all that I use, and I like it whenever you paint it over it so many times, and then it just kind of stays. But
um.
yeah, I've about worn this little piece out, but the whole loop will last you forever.
Mhm. I would say though, like some of my favorite baits to paint are baits that are already like have the scales like carved and molded into them, because then it's like, oh, I don't have to do like, if I want to do some scales like on the bottom as like a little transition or on the top as a transition, like I don't have to do, like I can just like blend some paints to make it look good. Like I don't have to get too
Yeah.
crazy with it.
See, I like a smooth bait because I like to create my own texture and scales.
Mhm.
And I never really liked painting baits that were really textured until I started painting some of the Hinkles, and
Mhm.
they're nothing but texture.
Mhm.
And I've really gotten to like those a lot because I've learned that you can incorporate that into your design. It can actually make it a lot easier for you. It
Mhm.
looks more realistic.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I'm a super mediocre painter. Like nothing special out there of mine. Um, but what one of the baits that I seen you painted that are super cool and I love them are the little air baits, the tiny glides.
Mhm.
How is I've been wanting to paint one. It's one of the things. It goes back to how much time I have, but how how easy or how difficult is it to paint something on that scale? Because it's only like three,
Yeah,
2.5 inches, maybe.
they're so tiny. I mean, it's the size of my pinky finger.
Mm-hmm.
It's it's very tedious, but I like tedious work. I think all lure painting is pretty tedious. Like you have to want to do it
Mm-hmm.
because I'm in all the time and I have to start over all the time. But those little ones, yeah. The painting wasn't so hard. I think the clear coating was the most difficult part of that because you can't have those joints sticking together. So I had to be really meticulous to get around that little joint and make sure that it didn't stick. But those are so cool and they catch big fish.
Oh yeah, like I just throw mine like in the resin, just bone stock color, and yeah, I've caught a ton of trout on those. I'm super excited for the 4 inch one to come out, and I've had Aaron on here before from Aerobaits, and I messaged him the other day. I was like, when the 4 inch comes out, we're gonna do an episode, right? And he's like, for sure. I was like, yes. I was like, I really want one too. Just so you're aware. Like, I will
I,
throw the crud out of it.
I didn't know he was coming out with a 4 inch.
It's coming out with a 4 inch one. He just had a story on it, and he's been like kind of teasing it for a while. He's like he's getting it dialed in. I know he wants to branch out and do some more stuff as well. So he's super cool dude. He got some cool stuff going on.
Oh yeah, he was really nice to work with. I think I did my baby bass pattern on one of his little glides. I think we did baby bass and pink lemonade.
Perfect. Perfect. Those are just perfect colors for that. That's what I was gonna do a like a pink lemonade on one, and I ended up doing a bait swap with another builder to get one of his blanks. Um, oh, Payday swim baits. He has like
I've seen those. Yep.
the little penny, and it's like, yeah, I'm gonna paint one of these, and um, dude, I'll do a swap with you because he really wanted a tiny glide. I was like, I got one. He just wanted to do a bait swap, and we did, and it was perfect, and I can't wait to paint it when I get around to it. My like office area is like atrocious right now. It's like looks like a tornado went through there.
Oh,
There's so much stuff.
I can relate to that. Yep. Yep. I'm a messy artist for sure. I just moved out here to my garage, so now I have space. I have a whole new setup. I have a big old paint booth. Before I didn't have a paint booth or anything. I just destroyed a room in our house, destroyed the carpet and everything. And I was just painting like on a drafting desk in a little closet. But I just moved out here a couple months ago, so now I have room. But I've already turned it into a disaster too. So
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
thought I'd be more organized out here, but I'm not.
Yeah. It's probably as you know, it's probably a little more well ventilated than just a closet in your house.
Oh, definitely. Yes, definitely.
Um. So with your painting, you don't have to give away all your secrets, but what I know, like a big question people have when beginning is like, what kind of clear coat to use. So like, what kind of clear coats have you been working with or experimenting with?
Well, I started out using a Lumilite, which I like, but I don't know if that's the best thing for me for like glide baits and stuff. I like DevCon, and I've been working with UFO. He actually
Mhm.
sent me this lure. He's teaching me his technique,
Mhm.
and I don't know if I can tell his clear coat method. You have to ask him about
Mhm.
that one. But yeah, that is a big question because they're all different, and everybody's got their own opinion about which one is the best. But those are
Mhm.
the ones I've tried so far and I like.
Mhm. Yeah, I've done a couple different things. Like if I make a bait, I it's like, well, I want this to last a while. So I'll do like a two-part, like 30-minute epoxy, and I'll have it on a spinner, like
Mhm.
so it can level out. Um, but I've really also have liked the KBS clear coats because I can
I've
either
heard a
paint.
lot of good things about that.
Yeah, it's so smelly it stinks. Um, but yeah, you can brush it on, or you can dip it. Like if you do like a crankbait or a jerkbait or something like that, you can just dip it, then you just clear the eyes out later. But with multi-piece, um, you can because like I've done like a DRT Tiny Clash, and I've dipped it. Well, I took the two joints apart from each other, and I dipped them, and it worked well that way. But for like baits where they won't come apart, like you can't just remove a pin from the hinge. Um, I'll just do one part at a time. I'll brush it on, and then I'll have it drip dry away from the hinge.
Yes.
Because yeah, you don't. It's I've I've gotten clear coat into the joints before, and it's such a pain in the buns to
It
clear that
is.
out and
That's
get it
why I
working.
brush.
Mhm.
I've never dipped before. A lot of people do it that way. I mean, it looks great, but I just brush it on there so tediously because I'm so nervous about those joints getting stuck together.
Oh, it's just
Because then you have a problem.
yeah. Well, it's just real aesthetic too for the Instagram reels.
Yeah.
Um, what has been like one of your favorite patterns to paint lately?
One of my favorite patterns to paint is actually bluegill because there's so much color and there's so many different types. And I just love the bluegill.
Mhm. That's just like a pattern I have not been able to like nail down. I don't know why. It just eludes me
Yeah.
right now.
I think you could almost use any color to make a bluegill.
It just like I got a vision in my head, or I'll look at like pictures of bluegill that I've caught, and I'm just like a huge critic of myself. So it's like this isn't good enough. Back to the drawing board. Like try again. But
I think we all do that though.
yeah, for sure. It's like, well, this next time around, like I got that payday swim baits. I got the penny. It's like, well, I want to paint that. I finally decided I'm just gonna do it in bluegill. I feel like that's the best paint for the profile, and um, it's like whatever I come up with, it'll be fine. It'll work. Um, yeah, my I'm a harsh critic to myself. Like I set the bar pretty high for myself.
Yeah. I think all artists do that though.
Mm-hmm. Um, so right now you got some Max Raptors. What are those gonna
Yeah,
end up?
that one, sorry. This one is gonna be perch.
Uh huh.
I'm gonna do perch on that one, I think. And then I painted this one, the North Shore, but I'm gonna repaint it because I don't like it. They sent me a drawing of how they wanted it, but for some reason, this paint I was using, it looks a little streaky in certain lights. You know how when you paint a room and you go over it a couple times and it looks
Mm-hmm.
like different colors. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna redo that one because I'm not really happy with it. But And then this one is the Henry Barber Vision Chat, and it's gonna be like one of those old warplanes that looks like a shark.
Oh, that would be sick.
Yeah, so that one I'll be working on this weekend. And then I think I'm gonna do bluegill on the UFO. And the rats, we're gonna do a metal panel rat and two other types of kind of like natural um rats for the sack pig bait.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever used one of his rats before?
Dude, I have one upstairs. I have the ABS, like the smaller ABS one, and
Mhm.
we got ice on our lakes right now here in South Dakota, so we're waiting, and um, but I've had him on the show, and randomly we'll talk. He's a solid dude, um,
Mhm.
and I imagine just a delight to work with because
Oh, yes.
he was very patient with me when we were having scheduling issues with everything because he was busy, I was busy. But no, I have one of his rats. I'm super excited to throw it this year. But yeah, I've been like I said though, I've like downsized a lot, so I've only have like a select few swim baits that I've kept. So I have like a Willie Pete's, like Brent's a solid dude. He sent me a Willie like his original Willie Pete, and oh, I got some others. I got some small stuff like the Aerobaits, Tiny Glide. Um, when the 4 inch comes out, it's like I'm definitely gonna buy one or two. Um, just because I know how much time Aaron puts into stuff to get things dialed in, and just his attention to detail, I feel like is immaculate, and he's not gonna put out anything that's not absolutely dialed in. So I just really have like high expectations for these 4 inch ones, and I'm super excited about them. Probably might paint one. I feel like my rainbow trout pattern is like not terrible, so might do that. Um, but yeah,
That's one thing I haven't painted a
yeah.
whole lot yet. Is rainbow trout. Just a couple. I love the
Mhm.
color. Though.
Oh, I do too. I think even cooler are like some of the people that can do like brook trout patterns because they're like I've caught brook trout, and if you look at them, it's like, oh, they're this color, and that's simple enough. But then you like start really looking, and it's like, well, that's not
Yeah.
just a red dot. There's like a white halo around it, and you know they have like super fine scales, so you could incorporate that a little bit. Um, I
Then
gotta.
they have a really interesting pattern on the top.
They do.
It's
It's
kind of
like,
swirly or something.
yeah, yeah, it's swirly, and then Um, you got other trout that like tiger trout and they're a hybrid and they got like crazy patterns and markings on them too, and I've seen people do those. Um, but so with the hinkles, are you mainly just doing hinkle shads or have you done any hinkle trouts?
I painted my first hinkle trout last week.
Okay. Well, what'd you do
Yeah,
on that?
I did a rainbow.
Yeah. How'd you feel
Yeah.
about it?
I think it turned out really good. I was happy with it. I sent it to one of my friends and let him critique it a little bit. His name is Blake Paff. He's at Dark Corner Custom Crankbaits.
Mm-hmm.
He lives in South Carolina too. He's about 2 hours from me. So I drove up and met him one day and he taught me how to paint bass replica. So that's another thing that I hope to get into eventually. But he's kind of like been a little mentor for me too. He's really good.
Oh, that's awesome. My buddy and I were talking about the other day. We're like, there's well, like how he's gonna be guiding for walleye fishing up in our area come this summer, and so we were talking about fishing, and I was like, I still haven't like found a fish that I would say would be worth like getting a replica made. And then we were talking about fishing tournaments. We were talking about like local fishing tournaments to us, and this kid like up here in South Dakota caught a 9 pound bass in our area, and they went and got it mounted, and we were like, gosh, there's like no reason to like go and get skin mounts. Like if you
Yeah,
like,
really, it's not more.
no, we were like, we were like, you know, if they catch like big walleye, they have like size regulations and slot limits for those on the river, and we were like, yeah, you take a bunch of pictures, you take measurements, and like you're good to go.
Yeah.
Like there's no reason to like really to get a skin mount, and those skin mounts look terrible once they're older. I don't know how,
They
like,
really do. I think they collect a lot of dust and they're hard to clean and they get kind of shriveled up looking. Like, I think the replicas are just a much better way to go these days.
mm-hmm.
And they
No,
make them in all different sizes and different positions. So why not go that route?
oh for sure, and it's gonna cost you like a pretty similar amount of money. Um, with that, with like painting replicas, did you get a chance to do a little bit of that over at his studio?
Yeah, so we painted a bass together. And then I had one order I did for a guy, and I drove back up there because I was nervous. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, "Can you just stand behind me and watch me and make sure I'm doing everything right?" And it turned out really good. So I'm more confident now. I hope I get some more orders. I would like to even move in that direction a little bit.
Mm-hmm. The Kyle Gracely, the Gracely Baits, he has, I think he's still doing it. If you catch a 10 pound bass on one of his lures, on one of his swim baits, catch a 10 pound bass, he will paint you a replica of that fish, and then I think you get like every lure in his like catalog that he makes. And I
That's
was
nice.
like, oh, yeah, I was like, oh shit, I was like, that's pretty darn cool. Like,
Yeah, that's another little reason to throw his baits for sure.
oh yeah, and I'm not in an area where we have 10 pound bass, but he makes like some really solid lures and just cool dude overall. Um,
Yeah.
which reminds me, you had like I've seen pictures where you've painted some like Gracely Bait shats, and those turned out amazing. You just like do really great work.
Thank you so much. I'm
Yeah.
really meticulous.
Mhm.
So and I enjoy it. So I think that's another reason why um, they look good. It's because I
Mhm.
love to.
Oh, for sure. I think once it starts getting, I know for me, like once things start getting, it's like, oh, it's kind of a chore. It's like, well, I need to step back a little bit, maybe kind of remember why I started in the first place.
Yeah, exactly. So I've kind of kept myself at a nice little pace
Mhm.
to where I still enjoy it because I don't want to get overwhelmed with it. And also I have the other job. So yeah, so it's all worked out like perfectly.
Mhm. Do you ever talk to your salon clients and you're like, oh, I gotta go home, gotta paint some baits when I get home?
Yeah, a lot of them are just kind of finding out what I do
Mhm.
on the side, and they're like, "What in the world?" They were like, "Didn't see that coming," but yeah, so they're interested in it though, because we
Mhm.
live by a lake, so a lot of people here fish, but
Mhm.
most of my clients are women, so
Well, I mean, you could draw a parallel where it's like coloring hair and blending hair is like similar to blending paints. I don't know. Like patterns. I don't
yeah,
know. Maybe you could draw that parallel.
yeah, absolutely.
Um, so when you started fishing, were you just like going out with your grandfather and your dad? Um, like growing up, how did fishing look like for you?
Well, my grandfather, made lures, and we had a bait and tackle store, and he also hosted fishing tournaments for adults, and then he had a children's tournament too. But we would fish every weekend, me and my dad, my granddad, my whole family. So he would take us out on the boat, and we mainly fish for crappie,
Mhm.
like vertical jig, and that is still my favorite. I love to fish for crappie.
Mhm.
So yeah, I grew up fishing. My dad moved. He lives in Charleston now by the coast. So now when I visit him, we go out on the ocean and we fish for redfish and bonnethead shark and stuff like that, which is fun too. But I also just love to fish for bluegill, to be honest, and
Hmm.
just anything that bites. Like I'm not out to get a trophy or anything, but I do have a PB.
Yeah.
I caught I caught a 250-pound marlin
Oh
in
shit.
Hawaii on my 30th birthday. It was like the best birthday ever. We fished all day. We didn't catch anything. We were actually on our way in, and I caught that marlin. So
Epic.
that's my PB story.
That's epic. No, I haven't had the opportunity to do that. My partner and I, we used to live down in Florida, so we fished like, well, pretty much we were just like fishing for anything. We were just throwing shrimp when we'd be out on the salts, and pretty much it's just whatever was biting. So, she's caught like a little redfish. We've caught trout, like the sea trout, and just like a bunch of other random stuff. Almost caught a bonnethead, but it popped off. That was I always joke with people. It's like I almost caught a shark.
They're
But
fun. They put up a good fight too.
I have no idea how I would have like, because we were like up on like kind of a high dock, and I was like, I don't know how I would have landed this with the setup that we were using, but I would have tried my darndest.
So where you are, you probably have a lot of trout.
So where I am, it's a lot of trout. There's some good places where you can go bass fishing, and there's a lot of potential there for the lakes because there's a lot of trout stocking. So I've caught bass on, but there's also a lot of pike here. So if you're throwing 9-inch glide bait, you're gonna catch like a 15-inch pike, and
Mhm.
that's not super fun. It's like there's 40-inch pike in here. Why can't one of those come and hit my 9-inch trout glide? But there's opportunity to for for the Midwest trophy size bass in this area. Um, Plus, I've been looking at branching out a little bit, traveling a little further around, like in my little travel radius, to go find some other spots that I might like because I've just kind of been trying to learn just a couple of these lakes around me. It's like, well, I'm gonna branch out. I kind of get the potential of some of these lakes, and they're not that great. So it's like I'm gonna branch out. So there's this lake, about an hour, a little over an hour from me, and it has nice smallies in it, and then it has tiger muskie. And I was like,
Oh,
well,
nice. That would
that
be a fun one to catch.
that would be a fun one to catch. And
That's on my list.
I've caught pike, never caught a muskie. It's like I will take a tiger muskie. I was like that will be pretty darn cool.
Yeah.
And I've never caught a smallie either. I lived here in the Midwest most of my life. I've lived in Florida for a little bit. I've never caught a smallie, and it's almost like a little embarrassing to say out loud.
We
And
don't have them here.
yeah, but like my partner, she's caught like a 4 pound smallie in front of me.
That's how it works, though, you know? That's how it happens. Beginner's luck.
Oh, she's just a hammer. Like, um,
Is she fish too?
we, she's like when we first started dating, she was like fishing a lot with me because it's just something we could hang out, we could do together, and so she did really good. And she doesn't fish as much now, but we'll do our I kind of call it old man fishing. Like I'll get our camping chairs together and we'll get some worms and our little push button rods and we'll
Yeah, I
sit.
love that, though.
Oh, it's
That's the
well,
best.
oh no, it's great. We'll have some snacks and we go to this one spot where there's like you can catch big bluegill and you just gotta like it gets pretty deep like right away, so you just pitch out like 15 feet in front of you, and you just sit and wait, and we catch some pretty nice bluegill, and we usually just let them go, but we can just hang out and be together. But if she wanted to, she could be just a hammer. She'd have proud angler awards and state records probably.
I love it. So, what is the bass record on your lake?
Oh, so like here in South Dakota, they don't do really like lake records like in other areas, but our like state record largemouth is like 9 pounds, and I don't know. I think it's like 9.5 pounds. It's not super big.
Uh,
Like
so they don't
this.
get that big.
No, they don't. They don't get huge.
Sure, really. Our
Um.
lake record is 12.3, which is not that big for somebody that lives out in Texas or
Mhm.
Florida, probably.
Oh no, that like I'd still like if I hooked into something like a bass that big, I'd be crapping my pants. I'd be pretty
Oh my
excited.
God. Yeah, my
Um.
nephew actually caught an 11-pound bass off of his grandfather's dock last summer. It was huge. He caught it on a little, can't remember what it was, some type of little square bill, but that's a big bass for our lake.
Mhm. No,
It's
that's
rare.
yeah. It's just a huge bass in general. Like any like a double digit. Like so here, like if you catch a 5 pound bass, like that's a pretty like old fish.
Yeah.
And oh, I used to do like this Airbnb experience where I'd take people out fishing on, people mainly just wanted to go trout fishing. So I'd, take them out, put them on some trout during the summer. But this one dude wanted to go out on used to have a tandem kayak, and he was from Wisconsin. He's like, well, I want to go catch some bass and some, maybe get into some pike. It's like, all right, hop in the tandem kayak, and I was paddling him around the lake and crushed him. Like, and it was awesome because it's like it's like I'm kind of seeing not just me, but it's like this is kind of confirming some of the like trophy potential in this lake that I'm fishing. And
Yeah.
um yeah, just he just crushed him, and I was just content just back there paddling. Like I had like a tiny clash tied on. I pitched that in a couple of times. Got some follows, got like a couple of bites that I didn't connect on. Um, but I think I'm gonna get a paddleboard this year. That was like the big
Yeah.
reason for getting rid of my kayak. Well, one, it was a tandem. It was a hog. Like it was crazy to load up. But
Yeah.
like if you're able to get out, what did Chris Zaldane, the pro fisherman, he's like, if you could float, you're deadly. So just getting out there, if you're just on
Yeah.
like a freaking inner tube, even, you can
Uh-huh.
get out there,
I
get to
got
some
some kind
places.
of my husband got me some kind of little boat for Christmas. I don't really know what it is. I can't remember what it's called, a Sun Star or something like that. But it's kind of like a mix between a little mini pontoon and a kayak or something. It's really cute, and it's got a little electric motor on it. So now I can go like,
Oh,
do you know what I'm talking about? Have you
yeah, I
ever
know
seen it
exactly
before?
what you're talking about. Yeah, they're like little
I
pump.
can't think of the name of it, but it's really neat. Two people can get in it and go. It don't go that fast, but it's fine for just putzing around here.
Oh, there
But
you
so
go.
hopefully this summer I can get out and maybe catch some bass and use some glide bait somewhere.
There you go. That'll be pretty cool. Those things are kind of neat. I got a buddy that has one of those, and it's like if I'm back in my hometown, it's like I definitely want to borrow that. Like,
Yeah.
no,
I mean, it's
those
perfect
are
for
neat.
me. I don't need to be driving like a real boat. That scares me. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just um really sold on the whole paddleboard idea. It
Yeah, that's so fun. Have you done it before?
yeah, I got this past summer. I got to go out and
They're
just throwing
fun.
yeah throwing swim baits out there on the paddleboard, like dangling my feet in the water, paddling around. It was fun. Um, what does your husband think about all of the painting and the whole glide bait scene?
Um, he is not much of a fisherman, really. I mean, he likes to fish and stuff, but he's more of
Hmm.
a golfer. But I've always got something crazy going on, so he's honestly not surprised. I'm always painting something or doing something or making something. And when I first started doing that, he was like, "Oh, okay, what you doing in there?" And I started tying jigs, is what I first started doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think he's a little surprised of how it's grown as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because at one point our whole house was getting taken over with tackle and hooks and split ring. I had stuff everywhere. So I think he's glad that I'm out in our garage now.
No, and I think it's just one of them things where you put out really good stuff, and it's no surprise that you're putting stuff out there, and people see it in this community, and yeah, it's no, it's like it's very exciting to see people succeed in everything, and no, your work speaks for itself. It's really good. Like I
Thank
know
you.
a lot of bait makers that I've talked to are like, oh yeah, I'm gonna send a batch of baits off to Little River Lure Lady.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, regardless, I'm gonna keep painting, whether people like it or not. I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing. And I figured eventually I'd probably paint something that somebody else liked if I just kept doing it, but I enjoy it. I do. I love doing it. I'm so glad that I found this. I've always loved to paint, but I've never really had a reason to paint. So,
Mm-hmm.
I would just paint little canvases and flowers or whatever, whatever. But now I actually have a reason to do it, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm. And so, what's your airbrush and your compressor setup looking like?
So I have the cheapest airbrush and compressor that you can find on Amazon,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it works fine. And I have no plans of upgrading. Actually, I did. I bought a very expensive airbrush. I think it was like $150. I
Mm-hmm.
can't remember. It was one that everybody recommended, but I just didn't like it. I guess
Mm-hmm.
I just got used to using this little cheap thing, and now that's what I have to use. I don't know. I guess I'm stuck with it now. I'm just used to it. I'm probably never going to change because I'm like a little creature of habit. So I guess if I start painting even more, maybe I'd have to upgrade, probably my compressor. I don't know how much they can actually take.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've been using this same one since I started.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never like taken a class on how to actually use an airbrush. It probably does a lot more than I even know how to do. So
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of picked it up and tried to figure it out myself. And I'm still learning about it. So
There you go.
I don't, I'm
Mi-
just winging it out here, I guess.
There you go. Well, you've been very successful at it, so far. Looks like. No, same boat. Cheap Amazon airbrush, huge learning curve for me, and um, I used to work at Menards, and they were a company that was owned by Menards. And so randomly for incentives, they'd give you like gift cards to Menards. And so it's like, well, I just used one of those gift cards that I think I wanted at a company thing or whatever. But it was
To
like,
buy princess.
yeah, so I was like, well, I'm just gonna, because like the airbrush kit just came with like a little tabletop like thing,
Yeah,
and that crapped out. It's like, well, I need an air compressor now. So yeah, there
that's
you go.
cheap.
I think
And I don't take care of it because it's $20. When it breaks, I throw it away and I get a new one. You know, like I'm not gonna sit here all night when it's 10 o'clock and scrub this thing with a pipe cleaner. It's just I'm not gonna do it. So it's probably a good idea that I just keep using the cheap ones and not invest in a very expensive one because I probably won't take care of it.
mm-hmm. Yeah, I seen a different painter one time make a comment because like the outside of his airbrush was like had paint and grime on it. Someone made a comment about it. He's like, "Well, it's clean where it needs to be."
Yeah, exactly. It's
I was
working
like,
fine. The
"Yeah,
outside, this one's actually pretty new, but it usually has paint dried to the outside and yeah, but it works. It's fine.
yeah." No, I'm in this. Oh, I get like so frustrated sometimes. So I've been a lot better about cleaning my airbrush after I paint because I've had it like times where it's like, all right, ready to go, paint, load up some paint, go to like do something, and it sputters or it's not shooting paint at all, and I'm like, son of a biscuit. And then I get mad because it's like I'm wasting paint. And I gotta take time to like tear this apart and clean it. Like,
I know.
so
Yeah. And then I drop it a lot and I bend the needle. So, you know, it's all part of it, I guess.
there you go. But you got something that works for you.
Exactly. And I think everybody has their own preferences.
Mm-hmm. No, for sure. Um, with you don't have to give away all your secrets, but
I don't really have any.
no. What kind of paints are you using? Like anything crazy?
So, nothing crazy, I don't think. I use Createx. I use some Vallejo. I'm just starting to learn how to use the solvent paints,
Mm-hmm.
and it is House of Color.
Mm-hmm.
So that's next on the agenda is to learn the solvent. That's why I got this paint booth because you definitely have to have some air circulating when you use the solvent based paints because they're toxic.
Mm-hmm.
And I have this whole contraption coming. It's like a hose that connects to your head that supplies fresh air from the outside so you don't die. I'm like all this to paint fish and lures, but
Oh man.
you know, if that's the best way, then I want to learn how to do it because I want the best quality.
There you go.
And I wear a snorkel, I guess.
There you go. Yeah, your husband's really gonna be like, what is she doing?
It's like,
Steps
what in
into the
the world?
garage.
He's like, do you really need to use that kind of paint? I'm like, yes, I really do. So
Mm-hmm.
I had to invest in all the equipment to use it.
There you go. That's epic though. No, it's um pe- people that use. I'm just using water-based paints, and it's like I'll get a good clear coat on it. Like it'll be fine. But I'm not sending
Well,
ton of stuff out to people either.
that's the thing. Like, I'm like, gosh, do I really even want to change what I'm doing? Because it's really working well. And my
Mm-hmm.
paint jobs are really durable when they're last. I've not had any trouble at all.
Mm-hmm.
So why am I doing this? But apparently it's better. So I got to see for myself and then I'll make that decision whether it's worth it or not.
Mm-hmm.
But some people might request that they only want the solvent paint, especially there's a couple companies that's all they want their painters to use
Mm-hmm.
because if the clear coat scratches or gets chipped, then the solvent won't wash away like a water-based paint will. So I guess that's really the only difference. But I don't know, it still gets hook rash no matter what.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's part of the charm of a lure is rashing it up and you
Yeah,
know,
right.
banging it in, banging it
Means
into
it's
a
worth
dock
it.
or yeah, banging it into a dock or a rock.
Yeah.
Um, and then like I'm not super familiar with like taxidermy, but that paint's different than for doing replicas, right?
There's a lot of powders that you use with that. A lot of micro powder.
Okay.
I guess that's what it's called, mica powder, something like that. And no, water-based paint too. Same thing with airbrush. Yeah.
That's so cool. Well, I know if I catch like a huge rainbow trout or anything like that coming up this year, it's like, well, maybe Zena, maybe she wants to like try
I'll
out.
give it a shot.
Yeah, you know what? If it's still cool to have something like up on your wall, it's like even if it. Okay, so it was last year. My buddy's 5-year-old kid caught like this. I think it was over 20 inches. I can't remember specifically. It was over 20 inch. It was like this big old uh, cut bow that he caught. So it was a cutthroat rainbow hybrid, and like his little hands are holding it, and there's like fat rolling over on the belly, like over his hands. just biggest smile, but he also let everybody know that we passed that day, that he caught the biggest fish that day, and that
Oh,
we sucked and he was the best.
I love that.
No, it was
That
it was it was amazing. Um, and I think that's probably one of the only times where I maybe would have considered getting a fish like replica just for the, and we didn't think of it at the time. Like
sorry. Yeah, he would
if
love that.
yeah, well, if you look at trout wrong, they die. So we were like net in the water, like quick measurement, quick pictures back in the water, and yeah, so we were like really focused on that. Plus, we were just freaking out. We didn't know what the hell was going on because it's like he hooks into this fish the first 10 minutes of us being at this spot. We're not even like where we actually want to fish yet, and this 5-year-old pulls in this huge trout, and we didn't know our heads from our asses. We didn't know what was going on.
That's awesome.
No, it was very cool, and um, my buddy tells me that he still talks about it. That they'll be out ice fishing. He'll tell everybody
He'll
caught this
never
big
forget
fish.
that.
Oh, for sure. Um, no, so it's all exciting, and yeah, that's the only time I think I've ever considered getting a replica done. Um, but it's like, oh well, we're a little too late for that now.
Yeah. So, one of the Hinkles I painted, I shipped it to a guy in California, and he caught a 15.9 pound bass a couple weeks ago. I think it's the record for California this year, not in general, but
Hmm.
he sent me a message earlier and he wants me to do a replica of it. So that would be cool because I think he said it was like 30 inches. That's big.
Crazy.
Crazy. I don't even know if they make a replica that big. I'm gonna have to look, but that'll be a really cool one to do.
That will be
It's
a
not a.
cool one.
It wasn't a bass with a whole lot of markings, but it was huge and it was
Hmm.
pretty and green. So yeah, that'll be fun. Hopefully, I'll get to do that one.
Well, that's like our bass here in the Midwest. Like fishing in Florida and then fishing up here. It's so crazy how different those Florida strain bass look compared to these northern strain bass. Like, and just the variation of colors and um, different lakes too. Because I've like our water around me is very clear. So those bass have like very distinct lateral lines and everything. It's really cool. But I've also caught like really muddy water bass that are super dark, like up in this area. And it's like this looks like a Florida bass with how dark it
Yeah,
is, because the
yeah,
water's just sweet tea down there looking.
yeah, yeah. This one was really dark. He said he caught it in some hyacinth. I guess that's a type of grass or something.
Hmm.
um, on the Otay Reservoir. I don't really know where that is, but his name is Andy Guzman. I'll have to send you his article. It's pretty cool. He had like all these media people reaching out to him for interviews and stuff. It's really neat.
Oh man, I know that's too bad. Like I think California would just have like such. Well, it's kind of getting a little political, but I think California would have such a better like fisheries if, well, obviously they're doing something right, but if they like had a model more after like Texas with how they have their bass program and stocking and share lunker program set up, I feel like California would be even better and be kind of more how it was like in the early days of like big bass fishing in California. Maybe a little
I'm not
political.
really familiar with it.
That's all right. I'm kind of nerdy about all that stuff, and like everything fishing is just like, I've dived way too deep down this like rabbit hole, like make my own rods, make some baits, paint some baits. Like,
I can make rods too.
oh yeah, I've like the bulk of the rods that I use right now are ones that I've put together, and it's a pretty sick feeling when it's like, all right,
I,
I painted this lure or I made it, and this is a rod that I made. So, or you
Every
don't you put them together, but no, it's epic. Um,
I've watched some people on TikTok making them.
uh-huh. There's
How long
some.
does it take you to make something like that?
Oh God, I'm so terrible at it. Like, um, it takes a couple hours for me to do one rod, but I'll
Oh,
have
okay.
the people that like do like a bunch of customs, like custom swim bait rods, everything like that. Um, they'll have a wrapper that's electric and powered. So like I'm sitting there twisting the blank by hand to get the
Oh,
guide wraps versus they'll have a power wrapper and they can just like have that thing just there you go. You're done with your with one guide versus I'm sitting here like
you
trying
do it the
to
old fashioned way.
yeah, for
Right.
sure. Um it takes a while, but it's super rewarding cuz like you're not going to save any money doing it to be honest, but like um the how accomplished you feel once you like kind of get it figured out and you get your rods like looking nice. No, it's pretty sweet. So the bulk of my rods that I use right now are ones that I've like my swim bait rod, my BFS rod, like all the rods, my jig rod, my smaller or like my crankbait, jerkbait, smaller glide bait rod. Like those are all rods that I've made and you can fit it to exactly like your stature, so it's like I don't want a huge handle sticking out way past my arm when I'm. It's like it all kind of like all my handles kind of just like tuck right in and kind of perfect and beautiful, honestly.
And it's all your creation. So that's what makes it even better.
Oh,
And then
for
when
sure.
somebody asks, what are you fishing with? And be like, well, you can't get this at a store.
Yeah, it's like, oh, this is mine.
Yes, mine.
Yeah, it's like I made this. No, it's just one of them things where I've dived super deep down the rabbit hole of like all aspects of fishing, and it's kind of how this whole little podcast was born as well. Just it's like I really enjoy just all aspects of this, so I'm like
Yeah.
I'm wanting to kind of just share people's stories, and you don't always get to see like the faces or the stories behind people making or painting your baits or building your rods, stuff like that. So it's really
Yeah.
cool.
It's so much to learn too. Like I have learned so much about fish. It's crazy. Like I grew up fishing and all that, just for fun, but now I'm learning about different species and different areas and what people use in certain conditions and time of day. I mean, it's a lot of science that goes behind it with the colors and it's crazy and it's never ending. And I think that also piques my interest because I'm the type of person that gets bored really easy and quickly.
Hmm.
But this is like a very vast topic. So I think it'll keep me busy for a while.
There you go. So once you get on your little all little I can't even remember what they're called, your little like pond hopper boat that you guys got. What are some of the swim baits you're thinking about throwing right away? You said you were gonna maybe throw some of the smaller ones.
Yes, I think I'm gonna throw some of the smaller ones. I think uh Jesse at Freak Baits. Do you know him?
Oh gosh, maybe I've
Makes
probably
a little he makes I just like the way this thing looks. It's called the Probe. I've painted a couple for him, but it's small and I think it would do well on this lake. What else? Maybe the throwback mini might
mm-hmm.
do well. Era, probably those little tiny ones would do good. I don't know. I'm gonna paint something up like a blueback herring and see what happens. There's another little company that I'm gonna paint some stuff for. it's a father and his sons, and I think the name of it is Chomp Swim Baits. I'll have to go back and look, but I was looking at his and I was like, oh, that kind of looks like a blueback herring profile. It would probably do good on Lake Murray. So yeah, I'm gonna try some of the smaller ones. I know bass, they'll bite anything. They'll even bite one that's probably the same size as they are, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just think that those would do best on our lake. Something a little tinier
Mm-hmm. Yeah, throw around like the little
and
um
easier for me because I'm not gonna be chunking a 6 ounce glide bait all day.
no, yeah, it's yeah, you kind of grow tired of it after a while. I get very like, oh, I need to switch stuff. I need to like keep things rotating. No, I'm looking at the freak bait right now. That's pretty sweet
Yeah.
bait.
Yeah, I love that little thing. It's so cool looking.
Mhm.
Um, but I think for our lake, like some of the most popular lures are like little square bills, the DT6, wrap shad.
Mhm.
Really, really tinier stuff, I think, works better on Lake Murray.
Mhm. Yeah, cuz I would like well, you've painted for like York casting before, like those little nuggets, those things are so
Oh, the
cool.
nugget too. Yes, that would be a great one to throw here. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, the nugget or like you said the throwback mini and there there's a lot of companies just doing smaller handmade baits, glide baits, stuff like that right now. Or you should just throw the sack pig, their smaller rat. There you go.
The wrap. Yeah, I have one actually, and I'm gonna try that one out too. Where did I put it? Hang on, find it real quick. Oh, here it is. So I painted a resin one for him, and he sent me one to paint for myself. So I painted it in that. I don't know if you can really see it that well. It's like a metal plated pattern,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I'm gonna throw that this spring and see what happens. I've never fished with a topwater rat, so that'd be pretty cool.
No, that'd be perfect. Like throwing it close to the bank, around cover, around grass, especially like springtime. Um, 'Cause if you like want to think about it this way, springtime, raining or flooding, or if you have snow runoff, probably not in your area, but like snow runoff, so like higher water conditions, it's like well, little mouse or like little mice are getting in the water, you
Oh,
know.
well, that might be perfect right now. We just had snow, which we don't get that often in South Carolina. So,
Yeah, yeah, there you go. Like, yeah, when you get snow like melt off and your like water conditions are higher, or like after a rain, it's like, well, some little mice might, I don't know, get into the water. And someone explained it way better than I am, and it made sense when I read it or whatever. But high water, flooding, mice in the water. There
got
you
it.
go. Yep.
Makes sense.
Yeah, around cover, stuff like that. Close to the bank. That's kind of um, like when I was throwing my rat that I made down in Florida. That's how it was. I was kind of throwing it around, grass, weeds, cattails, the freaking super huge lily pads.
Yeah.
We don't have that. Like we don't have like the ginormous lily pads like up here, but we got a lot of thick mats and grass in certain areas.
Yeah. We don't really either have a lot of that. We have some lily pad area, but it's not a lot of dense grass or anything either.
Mm-hmm. Um, well, we are kind of approaching some time here, like our kind of our time limit that I set for myself. I don't like trying to go too long because I'm like, and I could go just all night, just rambling, saying just different things. But I think this was great. How Let's briefly talk about if people want to get a custom swim bait, how they would do that through you.
So if you have social media, if you have Instagram, I have it pinned to the top of my Instagram page. It's got all my shipping information. You can also email me at lurelady@yahoo.com, but you can always reach out to me on social media as well.
There you go.
Facebook, Instagram, TikTok.
There you go. Um, what does your pricing look like, or is that on the pinned post?
I think it is on my pin post. I like to for people to send me pictures of what they have and what they're thinking about getting, and then I can give you a better quote. Because if it's something that's like a repaint that needs a lot of work, a lot of sanding, a lot of repair, then it's going to be a little bit more. But I kind of like to see what I'm working with first before I give price.
Yeah, yeah. Just give a price out and then you get it, and it's like oh,
Yeah,
okay.
then you get something that's been, beat up real bad, and it's like, oh my god, this is going to take me a while.
Hmm. Um, and then that kind of transitioned into where can people find you at?
On social media, on the internet, you mean?
Hmm.
Okay, yeah, so lurelady.com. I am on Facebook at Little River Lure Lady and Instagram and TikTok. And I do have my lures in a couple of local stores too for people that are in South Carolina. Big Man's Marina, Sport and Tool Mercantile, Steam and Barrel, and I'm forgetting a lot of others. But it's on my website, lurelady.com.
There you go. All right, well, perfect. I think this was great, Zena. I really appreciate you making time to make this happen. I appreciate you working with me a lot with my hectic schedule and everything. But
That's okay.
I appreciate that, and I think this went great. I'm very happy with
Thank you for
this.
having me. I really appreciate it.
All
It was
right,
so nice to
perfect.
meet you.
Nice meeting you too.